Many people have spoken about the youth who are wasting away their time and their energies because they have been located in the rural communities, and many of them don't see the way forward. So want to see how we can make it well with these people. Presently the ones who are in these areas, those who are able to follow anything at all, do follow food farming, and sometimes animal farming. So though these are good areas, it's like those who don't have lands on their own and those who cannot be employed on people's farms are not able to do anything about their unemployment situations. Now you know that unemployment um, in Ghana has been an issue that has been spoken of several times in the past. Um, so far, they measure the number of unemployed persons as a percentage of the number of the labor force. And by striking that against that, they see the number of people who should be able to work and yet are not working. They normally use the age group of from 15, I think, 15, right? Yeah, 15 to 64. Um, so far, remember, okay, wait, back in 2014, Ghana's unemployment rate was, I think, 6.8. Yeah, 6.8%. In 2014, it was 6.8%. But currently in 2021, we have done better. It's now 4.53%. So it used to be a high. There used to be a lot of unemployment, but now there's still unemployment though, but it has reduced when compared to 2014. Now, unemployment, sometimes it may not be very vivid to many to see, because one of the problems of unemployment is that there are people who have been employed in certain areas but are not really receiving the wages they deserve for it. So it's some form of a disguised unemployment. If you are working in a firm where you are not being paid as often as you should be, though you are working, you are unemployed. I don't know how to put this for you to get. There's somebody somewhere who's not working and he's not making money, but you are also working and you are not making money. So sometimes statistics use this also as a ratio in taking up the rate of unemployment in the nation. And there are a lot of people who are going through this painful plight of working in some businesses where their bosses don't pay them and come up with excuses, and it's very painful. So all of these unemployment contributes to the poverty rate affecting those areas in Ghana. And we do want to put a stop to the level of poverty in some rural areas. Right now, though the unemployment rate has been falling, which is a good thing, it is not easy to understand why there's still a lot of youth in the major cities who are not doing anything with their time. And what's even painful is the university graduates. If you don't know, there are some university graduates who have invested so much money into education, they and their parents. And when they come out of the universities, it's painful to note that they don't have anything to do. It's so sad. They go through all these processes of diploma, degree, bachelor, all the masters, all these accolades and titles. But after the university, after they get all this, their schooling, doctorates, and all of that, they come and sit home because no one is willing to employ them, or they don't get the right thing that they have trained for available anywhere in the nation. Why is this so? Is it that those people are learning the wrong trade or are into the wrong occupation? No, it's because there's not a balance. There's not the right balance in the communities in Ghana when it comes to businesses, job creation, and employment. There was a time where the Minister of Finance, Mr. Ken Ofuriatta, spoke to some people about these issues. He even addressed a certain Obatampa youth entrepreneurship program, amongst others. And I think they also included the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations. They were looking at the agribusiness sector as one of the areas where the youth could get into. But what was the problem was that the youth is not every youth who has a farm, a piece of land, and also it's not every youth that is willing to go and be employed on a farm. How many people will go out searching for farms to go and work on? You get it? So there was the need to come with with a solution to this problem. And also they spoke about tourism, and other areas where we could be generating more income and be getting more people employed, and yet things were not going as they were supposed to. I think they also looked at sports, entrepreneurship, and all these other little joints that hold the economy. Now, though these little programs and structures have not been implemented in the right way, they are still functioning. But when you observe it from a certain point, there's a lack of synergy in it. You'd like to see youth, the young people taking certain positions, but it's like none of them is interested in that place. And sometimes you can't blame them, because when you look at even the packages that come along with it, you yourself, you might not be willing to go. You can't go to a place where you work too much and then you be paid too little. So all these things, and the youth now, they want money fast and quick. They don't want to go and labor too much and then come and get peanuts. So because of this, the minister has said that the government will be making efforts at employment creation in the rural areas. It's just that for now they've been focused on making some partnerships with the private sector. That's why some of these rural areas have not really received attention. But there's the significance of employment in this nation if we are really going to develop. For that one, would not lie to you. There is a very straight, long, big significance that we need to pursue if we are sure we want to develop as a nation. So that is it. Now we are also looking at the way some rural developments go on but are too slow. There are some broken links, some trunk roads that need to be seen to, but then when work starts on them, they are just too slow. You'd wonder whether it would take decades for them to be completed, because most of these projects are not big projects. They are not things that involve a lot. But one way or the other, it seems that some of them they are just too slow. They occur slowly, and halfway through it, sometimes you come and get some excuses. You just don't know what to do anymore. So please, let's look at those areas too. We have to find a way to reorganize, human settlements, and get them in the right locations, and or send the right jobs to them, send the right employment to those areas. But we first have to start by working on those roads and all of these linkages that get to these rural areas. I mean, you cannot put a very big industry inside the a rural area, which will be functioning, and yet it will not have a road to get to the city to transport goods and all of that. You get what we are saying? So before you put the major one inside the rural area, do the small ones, fix the small roads, do those little things that are linkages to make these things work. If you put a very good company that employs many people, fine, but the company will not move forward if the company has no way to access the cities, or if the company is not receiving some of the raw materials it needs to function. And this has been the case in some areas where you see they'll build some firm in a rural area, people will be happy, but then when the time comes to function, it won't, because the raw materials are sited far away from where the firm is. And if you look at how you transport that raw material to the firm, it's impossible because the roads and all these things that are supposed to make that easy are problematic. So we'll see how it will happen if they are going to do things differently. We want them to start small, especially with these roads. Those are one of the first things. And please, when you are making the roads, do them once and for all. Do them in such a manner that we wouldn't have to revisit them to mend potholes and all these little gullies, erosions that destroy the roads. When you do it once and you do it well, you'll not have to come back there in sorrow anymore. So we hope that those things would be attended to. They are making some proposals to identify some settlements and also look at some levels below the district capitals which are functioning and those which can better function just as service centers in the future. Hopefully they'll look at those locations and then find how to be efficient to them. An equitable distribution will be made to and from those areas because essential goods and services have to move to and fro for business and for things to go on and for people's employment to make sense. There also is the need to get public amenities and utilities in those areas. We want to stress on this one too. If you put a company in a place where people cannot get some food to purchase, or people do not have some facilities to get some health, you get what we are saying, healthcare. Even some areas there are not public toilets or places to ease themselves. It will be a problem. I mean, you get it. So let's look at these ones too. They are all part of these little linkages we are speaking about. The roads are good as well, but also let's look at identifying such public amenities and utilities, which are very crucial to get the employment to make sense in the nation. You get it. Before you identify the settlement, make plans to fix those things in the settlements. They are necessary. They are necessary to be effective for the companies, the products, the industries, and all the employment things you want to put in these rural areas. When you do that, that is when things are going to change. You need to find the right way to improve the supply of mass of stuff from one city to the other in the nation. And then also let's look at social services and the infrastructure that is needed to bring these social services out well. So that we can meet the basic needs of the people, even also attract investments. There are some times where you need funds to do certain things, and you'll not be able to get those funds unless some investor comes in, and that's when you see growth and development in those rural areas. So please, let's also look at making things beautiful in such a way that we don't even have to rush to the investors. They themselves will come when they see that this is what it is. They themselves will come on board, and then they'll give us the funds we need to do the things that we need to do. And then before you know it, urbanization will become a beautiful thing in the nation. In the meantime, there's still the need for rural development. It's very necessary to the integral, development in the nation. Economists are always speaking, and financial experts are always giving their views. But until we put these little things in place, we'll continue to make statistical forecasts, and then we'll not get any, success from it. The talk. It shouldn't be continuing without work. So let's do that. Let's pay attention to agriculture, industry, entrepreneurship, from public amenities, essentials, productivity. Putting the right things in the places where these employment opportunities are going to be at, so that it wouldn't be a trouble for any youth who decides to go into this employment in this rural area. Okay, let's see what you think about employment in rural areas and even the general unemployment rate in the nation right now. You can give us suggestions of the way you think things could be made better, and then if any of those who are in power gets to see it, we could work on it. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.